49ers season is over. I'm sure their plane has taken off. They're on their way back to San Francisco. I'm going to be on a jet tomorrow. 31-7, the final score of this NFC Championship game. I'm going to come live later today from my hotel room, or later tonight, I should say, from my hotel room. First, I'm going to go eat a cheesesteak. First, I'm going to treat myself for surviving another 20-game marathon that ended in the NFC Championship game for the 49ers. Article is filed. It's going to be up on The Athletic, and I decided to come quickly live from the stadium because it's tradition. You guys always watch me walk out of the stadium, so we'll do at least part of that walk today. And, I said, even though I might wait for some, the viewers' emotions to cool before starting to dissect this in a more analytical fashion, I decided that it was worth it to come on now because there wasn't all that much to dissect in this NFC Championship game. The 49ers lost both available quarterbacks. They lost 4 quarterbacks this season. And even though Brock Purdy came back, he was unable to throw a football. He might have bad UCL damage. 49ers hoping it's not ruptured, so he doesn't need Tommy John surgery. MRI is going to determine that tomorrow after he gets back to the Bay Area. But you're not going to go in and win. You probably won't win any NFL games if you lose both quarterbacks. You have to be able to have the threat of throwing the football, and the 49ers didn't have that. And they lost Purdy, they lost Josh Johnson, and they didn't have that, and you're especially not going to beat the number 1 seed on the road in the NFC Championship game without a quarterback. They just didn't have a quarterback, and they lost. Injuries got the 49ers. I mean, it was the season of tremendous efficiency and balance for the 49ers in all 3 phases of the game. It was a juggernaut of a team, but it was also the year of the QB injury. And the QB injury screwed them. That's sports. Sometimes you just get snake bit. Sometimes it's just not your day. It was not the 49ers' day, and by extension, it really wasn't the 49ers' season. You're not going to win a Super Bowl if all 4 quarterbacks you throw out there get hurt. So it's as simple as that. Blame is going to be tossed around a lot. And one thing I said earlier in this game was if the 49ers, if they were going to have a chance to win this game, it was going to have to be in an arm wrestling tractor pull kind of fashion. It was going to have to be, okay, defense holds them to 7 or 14, and then defense gets a score, and the 49ers win 17-14, something like that. The Eagles had the number 1 pass rush in the league. Shanahan had no business dropping Josh Johnson back more than he had to while this game was still close because Josh Johnson was struggling after Purdy got hurt. And I thought the 49ers panicked a bit after they gave up the 14-play touchdown drive to Philadelphia near the end of the first half. They had 130, 140 left on the clock. Yeah, they had all 3 timeouts. But the rule of thumb against the best pass rush in the league with a 4th-string quarterback, don't drop back to pass more often than you have to. And they did drop back to pass more often than they had to, and Josh Johnson fumbled that snap. There's a reason why he's a 4th-string QB. Fumbled the snap, and then the Eagles ran away with the game after they picked up the fumble. The 49ers' most effective way of moving the ball when they still had a healthy QB4 in the game was by running to Christian McCaffrey, when they still had that passing threat to loosening things up. They should have just kept on running to Christian McCaffrey. Would have been better than the result, which gave the Philadelphia Eagles another free 7 points. Was a massive swing. My dad just texted me, and he said the biggest mistake was not activating a 3rd quarterback. Unfortunately, though, the 49ers, Jimmy Garoppolo, was deemed not healthy enough to play in this game. I mean, that was the big disappointment, right? When he first got hurt, they were hoping that he'd be able to come back within that 6 to 8 week window. But that's life. Sometimes it doesn't happen. Sometimes complicated fractures don't heal at exactly the rate that you want them to. So Garoppolo wasn't available. They only had 2 QBs. The NFL will probably change the rules since this game was ruined by the fact that the 49ers only had 2 available quarterbacks. I mean, nobody wants to see this except for maybe some Eagles fans who are going to be homers about this. But the people actually who enjoy football want to see 2 of the best teams in the league go at it. And they don't want to see one of the teams compromised by the fact that it doesn't have a quarterback to throw out there. I mean, Christian McCaffrey took a snap at quarterback today. I think they might have even been giving him the helmet with a radio in it. So it's too bad for the 49ers. It really is. And that's why the analysis of this game isn't all that complicated. So many things are left unresolved. Who was better defensively, who was better along the fronts, who was, we had all these debates and all these discussions over the course of the week about who was better in whichever phase of the game. None of that is definitively answered because the 49ers didn't have a quarterback. It's football. And this season and in this game particularly, the 49ers suffered a highly unusual, highly devastating rash of injuries to the most important position, and that was on display in this game. Yeah, Purdy couldn't feel the fingers in his throwing hand. One of the dumbest narratives are the people saying that Purdy wasn't being tough and he should have came into the game or returned to the game in the first half. He couldn't throw a football. The only reason Purdy came back in is because Josh Johnson suffered a concussion and then it was an emergency situation. But he couldn't throw a football. The 49ers had a better chance to win when Josh Johnson was in than when an injured Brock Purdy was in. Unfortunately for them, both of those chances were really bad. So it happens. It's sports. People, getting mad. When I talk about them needing to be conservative at the end of the first half, it was just to salvage a terrible situation. But you're likely not going to salvage a terrible situation against the number one team, the number one seed in this house on the road. So you lose two quarterbacks, you don't win in the NFL because you don't have any quarterbacks left. Simple as that. It was one of those days at the office for the 49ers. Anyway, I'm the last person in the press box. Season is over. All the papers are messy here. The games were on here. They're playing the highlights of the 49ers game right now. This is the play where Purdy got hurt. They had Tyler Kroft blocking Hassan Reddick. That wasn't good. You could see the field here, Lincoln Financial Field, and I'm about to make the walk out. So let me grab my backpack. Let me make sure that I have all of everything. I do. It is a mess. Cheesesteaks right now. Then I'm going to go live for a longer period of time. When I go live later, we're going to start to talk about the off season because obviously with Brock Purdy hurt, we don't know exactly what the situation is yet, but this has thrown another wrench in what's already going to be a fascinating off season of 49ers quarterback discussion. So that's going to be at the top of our list. We're going to talk about how the 49ers are going to pick themselves up from another NFC title game loss and move forward into what's going to be a really, really captivating offseason. So I want to spin this forward, so make sure you subscribe to the channel, like the video, and be ready for the next round of discussion that we're going to have, which is going to start in, maybe an hour? I don't know. I have to go get my cheesesteak first. There's the media dining room. Again, I'm the last person in here, so guys are taking a look at Lincoln Financial Field in Philadelphia. And here are the elevators. I'll call one. And while we're waiting, it's a Philly thing. You can see the suite levels. It's totally empty here. All right, elevator's here for me. Hopefully I don't lose you guys in the elevator. Where do we go? I say lobby. I think lobby's the right way to go. So, I think I still have you. It's the elevator maintained reception, and I think here in Philadelphia it does as well. I'm not on Wi-Fi, maybe that helps, but I'm on cellular data. It looks like that's a cool shot. Oh, it's dark in here. This is intimidating. I gotta find the exit. I may or may not be in the right place. I think I might have found it. Yes, I did. All right. It is time to leave Lincoln Financial Field out into the Philadelphia night. The Eagles, the hometown team, they're headed to the Super Bowl. The 49ers, they got to figure some stuff out. I'm going to get into the weeds of the offseason, the details of the offseason at the right time. And the right time for that is going to start later tonight when I come live from the hotel room. Until then, just know that this game was simple. Quarterbacks have to stay healthy or you're not going to have a shot in the NFL. nobody's real fault that these guys got hurt. Football's football. And the 49ers lost both of their QBs today against the Philadelphia Eagles, and that meant that they had very, very little chance of winning this football game. Man, the lighting sucks out here for a YouTube Live. Maybe I'll just flip the camera over this way, give you guys one last look at the stadium. All right, guys, everybody take care. Talk to you really soon. Cheesesteak time for me. Bye now.